Good afternoon. We just got back from Bradingham Orchards and I bought these 2 flats of imperfect tomatoes. That was $1 a pound. This is roughly 10 pounds of tomatoes. As you can see, they're smaller. They got imperfections. It's the end of tomato season. It's like the second week of September, so this is a great time to get deals. And so this was even a better deal than when I bought the bulk tomatoes to make my pasta sauce. So first things first is I am going to get them cleaned, let them air dry, and then tonight I will core them. Basically, you know, just cut out the top. Cut them into 4 pieces and then stick them in my stock pot and cook them down. This batch I am going to make taco sauce because we eat a lot of tacos and burritos, and I'm almost out of store-bought taco sauce. So I like the idea of making my own, so I'm gonna give that a try. The ball book has a recipe, and so I am going to make taco sauce. I got all the tomatoes quartered. It's almost fills the stock pot, so I have an electric stove. So I start this at like a 3 for the first hour, and then I'll up it to like a 4 or 5 once it starts breaking down. We're an hour in on the tomatoes. As you can see, it's already like 2 inches further down. I did up the heat a couple notches, so now it's like at a 5, which is like a low medium. And I'll do that for another hour. So I don't know if I mentioned it in the beginning, but I am making taco sauce. A lot of taco sauce recipes, you know, you just use tomato paste from a can, but I want to use my own tomato sauce. Just to make it a little more fresh because I got a heck of a deal on these tomatoes. All right, it has been 2 hours. So now this is the part where I scoop out this scoop and push it through the food mill. So that way I'm separating the skins and the seeds, and then all that will be left is the sauce. This is a, you know, manual process. It takes a little bit, but I enjoy this food mill, and I can't really record it because I need both hands, but you get the idea. Put the stuff in there, turn this around, and it smushes it down through the holes, and then I put the juice back into the pot, and then the scraps go over here for a second strain, and then the juice goes back into the pot. I have strained out all the skin and seeds. So this is what we have left. So now I'm going to strain it out one last time, and at the same time I'm going to measure it because I need to know exactly how many cups of juice I have, so I know exactly how many pints of taco sauce I'm going to make, or I should say half pints. I'm going to put these in jelly jars, and I actually have Copycat recipes for Taco Bell mild and Taco Bell fire that I'm going to make, so I just need to know exactly how many cups of this liquid I have. So I'm doing the second strain. I basically was just doing it so I could measure how many cups I have. This is like a 4-cup container, but I'm glad I am doing the second strain because look how many seeds I'm getting out. I don't really want any seeds in my taco sauce, so I'm glad I'm doing this second strain. All right, I measured it out, and I'm glad I did that second straining because now there's like no seeds, which I don't mind a little seeds when I make pasta sauce and spaghetti sauce, but I definitely don't want any seeds in my taco sauce, so I'm glad I did that second strain. It made exactly 12 cups, so I'm gonna do 2 batches, 6 cups of mild taco sauce, and then 6 cups of fire taco sauce. So I'm gonna get 2 pans going because hopefully I can like still water bath them all in the same batch. And then I'll just put like an M or and an F on each lid so I know which is fire and which is mild. I got my water bath canner, just started warming it up, and I got my 2 pots. This one will be the mild, and then the red pot will be the fire. I am going to water bath the candies to be shelf stable. This recipe that I got off the internet for the Copycat Taco Bell is extremely similar to the ball book taco sauce that is cannable, but since I am using tomatoes that I'm not exactly 100% on the acidity of it, I will be adding citric acid to each jar. That's just a safe way when you're canning tomatoes to make sure it's shelf stable. And if you have any questions about that, just read the ball book. It talks about citric acid in tomatoes in the ball book, and that just makes me feel comfortable water bath canning it. So let's start with the mild sauce. So I'm going to be double batching this because it's like 3 cups of liquid and I have 6 cups of liquid. So it's going to be 4 teaspoons of corn syrup. Ignore the tomato paste. That was if you did not have your own tomatoes. 6 tablespoons of vinegar, 8 teaspoons of chili powder, 4 teaspoons of salt, and 2 teaspoons of cayenne pepper. So let me go grab those ingredients. I am going to use apple cider vinegar, but I'm sure you could use white vinegar too. It's just taste preference. I got generic corn syrup. This is the chili powder I'm using, salt, and then I just bought this cayenne pepper. So remember, this is the mild. There's nothing too hot in this. So I'm gonna get this tomato juice. It's already hot, but I'm gonna get this on a medium heat, add the ingredients, and let it simmer together until my water bath canner is ready to go. All right, it looks brown. It looks like a taco sauce. So as that one is starting to warm up, let's see what we need to do for the fire. So we need, again, I'm just gonna say what the one batch is, but remember I'm doubling it. So 3 tablespoons vinegar, 1/2 cup pickled jalapenos, 1.5 teaspoon chili powder, 1.5 teaspoon ancho chili powder. I did have to buy that at the grocery store, but it was in the regular spice aisle. 1 tablespoon dehydrated onion, 2 tablespoons salt, 1 tablespoon sugar, and 1 teaspoon cayenne pepper. So the only difference between this recipe and the other one is the jalapenos, the ancho chili powder, and the dehydrated onions. I did watch a video on this, and I will link the YouTube channel down below that I got this idea from, and also you can just Google Copycat Taco Bell, and there are several great channels out there with the recipes. I'm going to blend the jalapenos, the dehydrated onions together with like a cup of that tomato sauce, and then add it back into the pot because I want it to be smooth. So let me get that started, and yeah, I'm gonna double it. So my husband loves fire, and I also, see right over here, I got some Taco Bell fire, so I'm gonna do a blind taste test to see if my husband can tell the difference. Anyway, let me grab the other ingredients I need. All right, so I put a cup of jalapenos, 2 tablespoons of the diced onion, and 2 cups of the tomato juice, and I'm gonna blend this all together. Hopefully it will blend together because I want a nice smooth taco sauce, and then add it back to the pot for the fire sauce. Once each pot reaches the boiling point and it's bubbling a lot, I turn it down to simmer. I'm not for sure if I mentioned that earlier. Because the tomato sauce was already hot, you just want the ingredients to cook together, to melt together. And then if you want it a little thicker, the longer it cooks, the thicker it gets. But this is a sauce. It's not supposed to be thick. Like if you've ever got like taco sauce, like in the Taco Bell packet, it's a little watery. But you don't want to like total water. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a fine line for sauce. You don't want it like thick. It is a taco sauce. And so this one's already reached the boiling point, so it's on simmer. And then this one, the fire, not reached boiling yet, but close. And I think the blending worked really well. I've seen videos of people like strain out the jalapenos after it's cooked, and then I've seen people like blend it. I think the blending's the best. There's a couple like spices in it, but that's to be expected, but there's no chunkiness. It smells so good. I wish I had smell-o-vision because this stuff smells amazing. All right, this is just a taste test. I was gonna have Robert do like a blind taste test to see if he could tell the difference, and then I realized he's gonna be able to because my version is like warm to the touch and Taco Bell is not. So this is the Taco Bell fire sauce. As you can see, it's a little bit thicker, a little bit thicker than mine, but I'm still cooking mine. And then this is my mild. So Robert, this is the mild.
That's mild.
So take a chip and tell me what you think about the mild. It needs to be a little thicker. I'm still cooking it down. Let me taste it. You like
Got
it?
good flavor. It is wild.
Oh, it's really good. That is really good.
Probably drink it.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that is so good. All right, now this is
What is this?
fire.
Oh, this is fire?
This is my fire. And then I want you to taste Taco Bell's fire and tell me if it's just as good. I'm not eating the fire because I don't like hot.
No, you'd like this.
You think you want me to try the fire?
Yep.
No, it's just Taco Bell.
Yours is better.
You like it better than Taco Bell's?
I do.
All right.
I do because it's not as sour.
The secret ingredient is that the canned jalapenos that I added, I canned myself.
It's not as sour as Taco Bell's.
I used apple cider vinegar. Oh my god, that's good.
Yeah, it is. Much better than...
Wait, I need... Never mind. I was gonna try Taco Bell's and he just licked the bowl. I wish I would have got that on video, but he would have got so mad at me.
Here, hold on. I got something I didn't
Thank you.
like.
Are you sure you didn't lick this one? I wish you'd let me record you because that was freaking funny. He was like, I like yours better, but let me lick this bowl.
I would try it.
Okay, you can lick the bowl on that one. Let me try it one more time. So it's going to be cooking for another 20 more minutes. I don't know if it will get much thicker. So the recipes I watched online, they added cornstarch to thicken it, but I left that out because
This is amazing.
you love it.
Oh, yes. That is amazing.
To be shelf stable, you shouldn't really put cornstarch in goods that you're going to water bath can, and so I left out the cornstarch, and that's probably why it's a little more watery.
It's got depth to its flavor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just a flavor and then it's gone. It's like I can't explain it.
But I'm still simmering it, and it'll be water bath can for 30 minutes, so hopefully that will thicken it up.
Cool.
And then also, whenever we take it off the shelf, we could always add cornstarch then.
Seems like it's
if
always
we thought it
thin
was
when it's
too
warm.
watery.
When it's thin,
It is thin when it's warm, you're right. Absolutely. It will. You're right, I forgot about that. It will thicken up when it cools down.
it sure does.
Okay. I'm never buying store-bought taco sauce again.
There's no need to. It's much better.
All right, so here's where we're at. I got my 2 pots simmering. And then as soon as my water reaches boiling, we will can them. And then water bath can them for 30 minutes. But I'll show that part too. I am ready to start canning. I just took these jars out of the water, so they are extremely hot. I mentioned earlier I'm gonna add citric acid. This is just the ball version of citric acid, and I am doing, since I'm doing half pint, I am doing 1/8 teaspoon in each jar. Just put in the bottom of each jar, and then I'll spoon the mixture on top. So first I'm going to start with the mild, and then I will finish with the hot. It should make 6 jars each. We'll see. And then the jars for the fire, I will mark the lids. It's a permanent marker. It won't wash off in the water bath. And then I'll label them fully afterwards. Okay, so for this, you only needed a 1/2 inch of headspace. And as you can see, I have way more 1/2 inch of headspace. This one's like a little lower than I would like, but I am still gonna water bath can it. I know a lot of people don't recommend that, like the canning gods, but as long as it sills, if you have a bigger headspace, it just means it's gonna take longer to sill. This is just a 1/2 inch off. I'm perfectly fine with that. Of course, I would like it to have like another 1/2 inch, but I'm all out of the stuff. So I've done this before. I'm just mentioning it. But if it was too low, I definitely would not be water bath canning it. But I think that's close enough. It will sill. I've done this before. I'm just mentioning it because a lot of people will be like, no, it's too low. You need to stick it in the fridge. Nope, I'm water bath canning it. The fire only made 5 jars. That's fine. Even though I had enough liquid that I should have had 6 jars each. Remember, I cooked it for simmer for at least a half hour, and so a lot of water cooked out, and so that's why I have a little less than I estimated. If I wouldn't have cooked it as long, it probably would have filled the 6 jar, no problem, but I did want a thicker sauce. So anyway, next I'm going to wipe down the rims, put the lid on, and then it goes in the water bath canner for 30 minutes. I got all 11 jars in there. It is a tight fit. I don't know what I was thinking. Jars aren't really supposed to be touching. The rims are kind of touching in a couple spots, but the jars aren't actually touching each other because you really want like water flow all around the jar. And then my permanent marker, as you can see, there's no marks on any of these lids. It washed off in 2 seconds flat. So yeah, permanent marker does not work. Which is weird because when I wash my lids after I've used them, that marker doesn't come off. So I guess I just didn't heat the water hot enough if I wanted that marker to come off. So all right, now we're gonna give it a couple minutes to come back up to bubble boiling and then water bath can them for 30 minutes. Luckily, the fire taco sauce was darker than the mild taco sauce, and I also mentally know where I put them in the canner, so I'll just pay attention when I remove them from the canner, but I think we're gonna be able to tell the difference. Good morning. I just took the rims off. I just checked the seal. They all sealed. My markings did wash off this crappy Sharpie marker. I swear I watched another YouTube channel where the lady filled out her lids first before putting them in the water bath canner, and the writing actually stayed. She must have had a super effective marker because mine did not work. Luckily, there is a slightly difference of color. The fire is slightly darker than the mild, so I will be able to label them properly. I just want to know because my husband likes fire, I like mild. So originally I was going to make taco sauce, just the straight recipe from the Ball canning book. So Ball canning book does have a taco sauce. And then I was just browsing YouTube and I saw that Copycat Taco Bell fire. I will link the chef's video down below. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but I will link his channel down below because he has some great videos on all kinds of different Copycat sauces. So to make it, to be able to can, I did have to change his recipe slightly. He had cornstarch in his recipe. Cornstarch is a thickening agent. The canning gods do not recommend canning cornstarch, so I left the cornstarch out. I did substitute corn syrup. It is not a straight substitution, but in the Ball canning book, they used corn syrup in their taco sauce recipe, and so that's why I thought it was okay. If you don't have corn syrup, I think you could probably leave that out completely too. I only did a couple of teaspoons, so I don't really feel like it thickened it up, and I wasn't for sure if it was a thickening agent or just a sugar agent, but either way, I think you can leave that out of the recipe if you don't have any corn syrup. And also most of the videos I saw, people did not use fresh tomatoes. They used canned paste and then added 3 cups of water. So since I don't know the acidity of my tomatoes, I did add citric acid to each jar. You really need to make sure you have enough acidity in your tomatoes when you can them to make sure they're shelf stable. So that's why I added that little 1/8 of a teaspoon of citric acid. So those were the only 2 changes to the recipes. I really enjoyed doing this, and I really wasn't planning on canning anymore this year, but I forgot it's the end of the season, and so a lot of farmers will mark down produce. You'll start seeing better deals of like apples and strawberries and tomatoes right now because it's the end. Well, it just started apple season, but tomatoes and strawberries, that season's getting over with, and so they're just trying to clear out the stock. So if you're into canning and you don't grow your own stuff, I don't have that much stuff I grow, this is the perfect time to find stuff to can because there will be good deals, and not just the pick your own farms, but also the grocery stores. Like this week at Target, they had strawberries 1 container for like $2.99 and get the second one half off. So essentially you're paying $1.67 a container, and those containers are normally like $3.99 or $5.99 depending what grocery store you look at. So if you didn't get strawberries this year but you still wanted to can some, that was a really good deal. So this is the time to start paying attention to your grocery ads if you're looking to can stuff for the fall to put up for winter. Anyway, enough rambling. I had a great time doing this. I probably will keep doing more canning videos because I am watching for great dills. And like yesterday we got a whole bunch of those jalapenos. I don't know if you watched my picking video, but we got the peppers and we're turning them into chipotle peppers, and we're gonna make adobo sauce, and that is also cannibal. So cannibal, I don't think I'm using that word right. I can also make it shelf stable. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I will see you later.